All the items you're about to see can be purchased on my eBay website at Whitney LaBrie Events. Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. I am excited today to show you some Easter miniatures that I have come across and also a few other things, of course, that we will take a look at today. So I do have a lot of accessories here, so probably what I'll do is I might pull them out and then we'll take a closer look at them. I think that'll be easier to see everything in this treasure haul. Okay, so we definitely have some really cute little Easter minis here. I've got what looks like an egg dyeing set here, a lot of paints, some lollipops. We've got some vintage chickens here, which is pretty cute. Little vintage chicks. We've got two metal Bibles here with metal latches, and then of course they do have the actual scriptures printed on the pages, which is pretty cool. Then I've got some presents here. I've got 3 vintage Easter baskets here filled with goodies and jelly beans and chocolates. I have 2 adorable chocolate bunnies in the packages here, and the packages do not open, but those are adorable. All right, so that's pretty good so far. Let's see what else that we've got. All right, another Easter egg dyeing set here. We've got some vintage plastic chickens. We have these little adorable artisan-made little bunny slippers right here. Another bowl of jelly beans, which is pretty cool. Then we have some really tiny little eggs here, a little rabbit, and some presents here. Some of these look like they're handmade. We have a little artisan-made teddy bear wearing a bunny suit. And then these are some Hallmark Mary miniatures here, kind of these collectible Hallmark Mary miniatures. Some more vintage ducks and an Easter basket. And then an artisan-made painted bunny rabbit here. This is pretty cool. The artist signatures on the back. So that's neat. A neat little find. That would be really pretty framed. All right, and I've got another bag here filled with goodies. Let me go ahead and unbag all of this. All right, so we've got some vintage eggs here on sticks. We've got this little bag here filled with Easter goodies here. It looks like chocolate, a rabbit, some wrapping paper, some other fun stuff. Then another vintage little Easter basket here with some jelly beans and a chicken inside. And then we've got, what is this? Another plastic little chick ornament, a couple of small itty bitty clay items. This is a little bear here. I've got a little rabbit and a little duck also. And then a little cute tin with a lamb. We've got a porcelain bunny here, which is nice, and a couple little porcelain chickadees. But it does look like their little feet have been chipped a little bit, unfortunately. Still cute though. All right, and then I have this amazing Easter room box to share with you. It is adorable. It's really well made. It has these little nails with the Easter baskets hanging up on the walls, ready to be filled. And then in the center, it has like a workbench here made just for you to add your Easter goodies and all sorts of fun stuff. It's got a couple extra baskets here, and you can see there was something probably glued to the top of this at one time. Underneath, you have a crate, and it's filled with Easter grass. And then you've got an extra shelf over here. Now one shelf is missing, but the actual shelf holders are still there, but it's just missing the shelf. And then we've got a really, really nice brick flooring. We've got good wainscoting on the side. It's very well built, and I almost think that it might have had a top at one time, but I'm not sure. I certainly haven't come across it if I haven't. But overall, it's a really pretty room box to purchase and then, of course, decorate with all your cool Easter goodies and decorations. And then I've taken some photos too, just so you can get a better idea of what that looks like, some of the close-up shots. Okay, moving on from the Easter stuff, I think that might be all. Oh no, I guess not. I only have like 1,000 baskets here inside this bin. So we have a ton of baskets inside here. Baskets after baskets after baskets, which is really fun because of course you can fill these, not only of course with Easter stuff, but I mean anything you can think of to put in a basket. I've got all sorts of different kinds here. It looks like I've got woven ones, hand woven ones, we've got straw ones, we've got plastic baskets, we have all these different colored ones. Wow, so a lot of great baskets. And hats too. Looks like I've got some straw hats, a whole bunch of different kinds of straw hats. Very cool. Man, honestly, this is great. Okay, what else here? We've got a picture of Jesus in a frame, and of course another basket here. More baskets all on the side, a couple frames. Here's a little white metal bench, and then of course here are some more baskets. So I'm probably not going to go over all of these baskets since there's so many of them, but they will definitely be on the eBay website, as many as I can post between now and the time that this show airs. So I'll try to get as many as I can on there. Man, look at this, just more and more and more baskets. This is crazy. And a couple frames mixed in here too. All right, so it does look like there's a room box, another room box at the bottom of this bucket, but it's filled with a whole bunch of stuff. So let's kind of go through this. Looks like a lot of white metal furniture. All right, so the first thing I see here is just a vintage plastic clown, like a little birthday clown here. Super colorful, not really scary. And then this is a small pair of glasses right here, and they actually do have the lenses inside of them. Here we have just a vintage metal white chair, and this has a little bit more character than a lot of the metal pieces that I have come across. The seat cushion is connected to the chair, does not come up, and it is a really pretty piece, something that you might see in the 60s. Here we have a 3-tiered stand here for a plant stand. You could do fruit in this also, or vegetables, and it's in overall good shape. It's got a little bit of mini hold in it, but other than that, it's in nice shape. This is a cool chair. This is, I think it's called a peacock chair, and this one is a white metal chair, but initially it came, when those first came out, I think like in the 70s or 80s, they were made of wicker. I think my aunt had one. Here's another white metal piece here. This is just a baby stroller, and the wheels do move. It's in nice shape, not any chips or anything major that I can see. One of the wheels is a little loose here, but that could be fixed, and still has some plastic pieces on the wheels, so it's probably never been used. Here's a really great metal shelf here, a white metal shelf. It still has the tag on it, and it is in really nice shape as well. I love this piece here because to me, you could use it in a lot of different ways, a lot of different applications. Of course, it looks like a really great bathroom shelf, but of course you could use this in a dining room, you could use it in a garden setting. So a lot of great things can be done with this. Another white metal piece here. This is just a white metal table with a mesh top. Overall good shape, no issues with it that I'm seeing. This white chair here, of course, it's metal also. It does have some rusting on it in a couple different places. There's no missing parts or anything, but it does have a little rust on it. This is a cute little metal chair also. This one, this is a vintage piece here. I think this might have actually been used originally as like a sewing pin cushion, but it reminds me of like a fairy chair or something like that. Simple, but really pretty. Here is a huge overhead light, and it does have wiring and a little bulb, but you know, who knows if it actually works. All right, so here's some, I wouldn't say it's a 12 scale. It looks like a collectible vase. It does say Japan on the bottom, so it's, you know, a mid-century item. And then they shoved in these flowers here that are kind of, probably it might be time for tossing. Here we have another lamp. This one definitely seems to be handmade. Almost looks like a medical lamp or something like that. I don't know if it's missing something. I don't know. It doesn't look like it lights up. It just looks like it was a handmade prop light or something. Then here we have a brass wash basin. And let's see if this bowl fits inside. It does fit, but I'm not seeing the picture that would have originally gone with this. I don't even know if that's the original bowl that went with it, even though it fits. Then we have a ideal petite princess clock here, but the back is missing. And also the finial on the top has also been broken off. It is nice though that the stickers are still there, but you know, it definitely has some issues. All right, another white metal chair. A lot of white metal stuff in this lot today. So also in good shape, no rust stains or anything like that. Nothing's been broken off of it. This is a really cute piece here. This is a robe in the process of either being wrapped or being unwrapped. So it kind of has some floral paper with it. So maybe it's a birthday or Mother's Day gift that's being unopened or packaged. It's really cute with the robe inside. And it's got a really pretty little blue ribbon. So it's a cute piece. I think I have that also in slippers being wrapped or unwrapped. We have this framed piece here. It does look like it's missing something. It's got a couple starfish in it and a little shell and a bird, so that needs a piece. And then this is a really nice red, white roses with yellow flowers as well inside of a terracotta pot. And actually that's in really good shape. Another metal item here. This looks like a quilt or a blanket holder here. A lot of times you'll see these, but they're a little small. So you could do a nice size blanket, nice size quilt over this. And it looks like it holds up to 3. So that's nice. That's pretty cool. I haven't seen this before. It's in really nice shape, not missing any pieces. And again, with this white metal stuff, what's really great about it is you could spray paint it any color you want and just, you know, get creative with it. Another chair here, obviously white metal also. It's in good shape, you know, overall. It doesn't have any damage or bent pieces, missing stuff. So yeah, it looks good. A little dirty. All right, the bottom here, it's starting to look like it's going to be a lot of loose accessories. This is a vintage compact that someone has transformed into a metal bathroom cabinet, which is a really smart idea. They're very clever. And so they've painted it. They added a mirror to the front that does look like an added mirror, and then they put a little shelf inside. Of course, it has some accessories in there, but that's pretty cool. That was a good idea. Here is a petite princess coffee table, another ideal piece here. You know, it's pretty common. I think I've opened up a couple other boxes with a few of those inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull out all these accessories and we're going to lay them out and we'll take a look at it. But as I do that, I'm realizing that the room box that's at the bottom here, that all of this stuff has been shoved inside, is a bathroom that someone did. And it is a sweet, sweet 80s bathroom. So let's take a look at that. So here it is all cleaned out. It has a bathroom. It has a over the toilet shelf. It has a lot of accessories that are glued in. The rug is glued in. The sink is glued in. The flowers are glued in. And this one does have a doll, a lady in a robe that comes with it. The outside looks like they decoupaged it in a multi-colored print paper. I thought it was butterflies on there, but it does have leaves on it. It's got all these really fun pastel colors. And then the bathtub is removable and they've put in homemade bubbles, it looks like, and it's really sparkly and glittery, which is hard to see on camera. And then this is the lady doll, and she does look to be handmade, and she's handmade and not really that well done. They also have her in a robe, but she is wearing, it looks like, high heels or something. So she hasn't quite gotten her shoes off before getting into the bathtub, and she's loose inside of here. So you could see that the shelf has accessories on here. Some are loose and some are not. But really, I think this is like another one of those pieces you always hear me talk about where the right person were to get a hold of this, they could really make it look nice and take it to the next level. And that's kind of where this is. But it's nice that it's completely filled. It has all this really fun stuff inside. So I've taken a few photo stills also for you to take a look at closer. All right, now let's go ahead and take a look at those accessories. Now, there were a lot of physician, doctor type stuff inside there. So we've got some vintage wooden items here, a stethoscope, a doctor's bag, we have a urinal, and we have some accessories that would go maybe like on the doctor's tray, like a little like cotton balls and tongue suppressors and things like that. We have this random foot right here, and it's weird because I feel like I recognize this piece, but I don't know from what. And then we have some other wooden pieces here, hot water. We've got the medicine. We've got these little crutches here, but they're much smaller than a 12 scale. So I don't know what they were originally for. Some wooden band-aids, some bear, ice pack. We have this little thing that says face powder. We've got an electric blanket, which is super cute. Some tissue. Those, I don't know what kind of like tongs those are. We've got some blue stuff in a jar. And then over here we have some cleaning accessories, some toilet paper, a bucket with a sponge and rag. Some more Kleenex here. This is a nicer box actually. A little bathroom mat in yellow. And then we've got some birthday presents here, some happy birthday cards, some candies. And then we've got a couple of like housewares, a picture of a jockey on a horse. We've got this little gentleman's picture. We've got some books, some different books. None of them have print inside. One says biology, I think, on it. Then we've got a few animals here. This one is really cool. This is a metal hound dog here. He's vintage. You can see he has the two metal sides and he's been hand painted. Some of the paint has worn off, but he's pretty cool. Then this is really sad because this is a handmade clay dog. Look at that adorable face. But unfortunately, one of his ears has come off here. It's really sad too. He's got a signature on the bottom here. And then this Siamese cat, this is actually a real treasure here. This is a hand-painted piece here. It's a really nice cat. I have seen this before. This is by Karen Phillips. It's in great shape, and I love the eyes. They actually almost kind of look real. Okay, now I have the small box of dolls I thought that we would check out. And the first one I'm seeing is actually an action figure from Spider-Man. This is Jonah Jameson. His arms move. He's got a little lever here in the back. And this isn't obviously typically a Dollhouse doll, but he's in okay shape. He's of course loose from the box, which of course makes a difference when it comes to value. This is kind of an interesting doll because it's really a tall doll. I mean, it's still 12 scale, but it would be like a really tall person. And it's porcelain and it's thin. It has these thin arms, thin legs. It has some wild hair and it's got a Fu Manchu beard part, but no mustache. Then it has kind of an interesting shaped body. It's got a soft body with the porcelain arms, legs, and face. So interesting. I don't know what this doll was intended to be. He almost has a doctor's coat on, but maybe he's like a barber or something like that. So I don't know. Let me know if you know anything about this doll. This is a pretty cool doll here. This is a Cecil Boyd doll, and Cecil Boyd did a lot of really nice resin dolls. And at the time she was making dolls, she was the best at doing resin. There weren't a lot of people doing resin back then at this time. And this one's really fun. He's a gentleman doll and he's bent over. And I like this doll because it has a lot of personality and it makes you wonder like what he's looking at. Like, is he looking at a dog? Is he bent over looking at a child? So it's really nice and it's in really good condition too. He's got a little bit of glue on his feet here. So it looks like he probably was glued into, a scene or a diorama or something like that at one point. All right. So here is one of those cute little vintage nylon dolls. This is a 12 scale 6-inch doll. She's got her little blonde curled hair all up in a bun. She's in great shape for a nylon doll. And, I've come across several of these in this collection and they just have the cutest little faces. They remind me of the little doozers in Fraggle Rock, their little faces. But what they actually also remind me is from the 80s baby doll called Baby Sprouts. Do you guys remember those? And they were almost like a baby puppet and you could put your hand inside and make them kind of move around like a real newborn baby. And they had those little nylon cute little faces. Anyway, let me know if you remember Baby Sprouts in the comments. Here's another nylon doll, but he's only half there. He looks like a store clerk, a balding store clerk with his little long hair and the bald top. That's pretty cute. A lot of personality there. But he's missing his actual body. So you will not find him on eBay likely unless I come across the rest of him. He could maybe not have anything else. He could actually have just been in the process of being made and never finished. So we shall see. This is kind of a neat piece. It's an articulating jester clown here. He's flat on the back part here, so he probably is just like an ornament, or he goes on the wall. And the overall good shape, it does look like one arm has a repair to it, but it was a decent repair. And he's like a ceramic type of an ornament. Now, I personally don't have a fear of clowns. I don't know if any of you guys have any fears of clowns. Let me know in the comments. But you know, they don't give me the willies at all. Of course, when I look at something like this is a little bit about what nightmares are made out of. Look at that doll face. Yeah, with the black eyes. This one, soft body. He's got a ball in one hand, and then his other hand is actually missing, so he does have damage to him. Then we have this really cool clothespin doll. I'm pretty much in love with her, but the reason is because she's just not a painted on face. The maker of this doll actually carved her nose and her cheeks and eyes and stuff. So she actually has some real character. Her legs here also carved and painted. And I love her little dress and her little top bun, and she's just, I don't know, she just is really special. You know, I haven't really seen a clothespin doll quite like her. Usually you'll see them just with a regular painted face, and then maybe they'll put some, you know, like some doll hair on it. But this one, actually, the maker took the time to carve it out. Pretty cool. This doll here reminds me of like a religious type doll, like a maybe Mary. Her hands are held in such a way that she probably was holding something. Her outfit is a felt outfit, and then she has like a resin type leg, arms, and head and everything. And then she was in the sun, obviously, because the front part of the dress has been faded out to a light brown. And then when you turn her over, she has more of a darker brown on the back, a darker brown felt on the back. But the clothing is well made. She's in good shape, you know, but I do wonder kind of what she was holding. It almost looks like she maybe had an instrument in her hand, which then makes me think angel, but there's no wings. So I'm not completely sure of the original intention of the doll. This is a really unique doll here. This is actually a hand-carved wooden doll. And when I first saw her, I thought this was maybe a Hitty doll. And I could be right on that, but I could be wrong. This is a Judy Brown Sterling doll. And she was part of the United Federation of Doll Club. So the UFDC Club, or UFDC. And so she's a pretty well-known doll maker. Now this doll here, originally it would have been showcased, I believe, inside of a shoe. And she's in pretty good shape. Her hair has gotten, you know, a little bit fuzzy, but it's in decent condition. And she also reminds me, like I said, of a Hitty doll. And Hitty dolls were hand-carved wooden dolls, and they got pretty popular at the time, but they originated from a book called Hitty, and it was a fictional book written by a lady named Rachel Field. The book came out in 1929, and it was a really popular book, and the book is about Hitty, which is the wooden doll carved in the early 1800s, and it was all about her life over 100 years. And so it got pretty popular, and a lot of people were making these wooden dolls, and this kind of reminds me of that, but it is not. But it is a highly collectible wooden doll. Okay, now so this doll here is from the 80s. It is a sad clown, a flapper 1920s doll, and she is porcelain head, hands, and feet. There's a little bit of scuffing on her head, on the back part of it, probably just from putting it down, or maybe it was hung on the wall or something like that at one time. The legs also, you know, the porcelain is just a little bit dirty and needs to be washed. But I don't do that part. I don't want to take any chances on ruining anything, so I will leave it to the buyer to clean it. This is a We the People doll that Hallmark put out in the year 2000, and they did a whole bunch of the founding father type little plush dolls like this, and so this is one of them. Little Ben Franklin here, you know, he was quite a player in his time, a ladies' man, if you will. Okay, and then this doll here, this is a little porcelain baby doll here. This is not a 12 scale. This is definitely much larger than that. And it has definitely seen better days. It is missing a foot, and then it's been cracked on the side. So my guess is this doll was probably dropped. So it didn't shatter. You can see there's the piece of porcelain is actually inside that fits that little gap there on the back. And it's unfortunate too, because you can see that this doll definitely has some age to it, but yeah, it does need someone to fix it. And again, I'm not a doll fixer-upper. This one here has the label JBL on the back, and that stands for Janice Bennett. And she was also a doll maker in the 80s and 90s. This is a really nice doll. It does need clothing. This is a little boy doll. It has real hair. The hair is really nice. The little boy is also in really good condition. The porcelain is great, no cracks or anything. His blue eyes, really good shape. And actually the date on this is 79, it looks like, so it's pretty early. Okay, this doll here, this is a bisque porcelain here. It is jointed. It says Japan on the back of it. So, you can tell how fair the porcelain here is. This is a pretty vintage piece, but the baby's in really good shape. Most likely the original little diaper that was on this doll. And he's in pretty good shape for as old as he is, or she, whatever you want it to be. Now this baby here is probably a polymer clay baby. Looks like a little boy. Obviously there. It does have a little glue on the back. I'm guessing it was probably glued into a bassinet or a crib or something like that. I love that he's playing with his hands. He's got tiny little toes. Some toes are curled in. He's got his little blue pacifier in his mouth, and he does have real hair. This doll is interesting. Obviously the head has come out, and I can just glue that back in for you. But it's like a neat little shelf sitter. It's got this little cute little body with this whimsical outfit on. It has feet that are kind of like a jester, but then the face, it's wearing like an orange peel hat on it. So I don't really know anything about this doll, and there's no markings or tags or anything that's giving me any kind of idea as to who made it, but it's really kind of cute. Different face, and just that little orange peel hat makes me think like of a sprite or a gnome or something like that. All right, this is a really nice 12 scale doll. It has this very, very Victorian pink dress on, a lot of ruffles, a lot of roses, porcelain, and it won't stand on its own, but you can see that it has the articulating head as well, and then this really cute hat. Overall condition is really nice. It has the fan in her hand, and it is a fabric fan. So the only thing is, the back of the hair is just a little frizzy, but you can still see the nice curl. So overall, great shape, not missing any roses or anything off of the dress either, and there's no staining. So a nice 12 scale doll, just needs a doll stand. Here is another primitive wooden doll. She has wood feet, wood legs, a little wooden face, and it's just hand painted. She's got white hair, and she reminds me of like a Little House on the Prairie doll with this little outfit on, like an early American pioneer outfit. This doll here is just a vintage spool doll, and it's got a tag on it that says BAB Spool Kids. So there was probably a few different ones in the collection that this doll maker made. And then it's got a cute little painted face on it. Now the lace trim on the bottom of the dress is coming off, and there is a little bit of some discoloration right on the front part of the dress. But overall, cute vintage condition. This guy's cool. He has, obviously it's a tribal guy here. The hair feels like rabbit fur or something like that. There's no marking on him. It looked like it said something, the base, but it got scratched out. And then I also have this head of a tribal doll, and it does look like it's ceramic, and the hair obviously is coming apart. It probably had two really long pieces. They attached it to this wire, probably were using it maybe on the wall, but it is a broken off headpiece, which is unfortunate. It could still go on the wall as like a cool mask, I have to say. It is it is really neat. This doll is pretty cool. She's a wire and straw doll, and then her clothing is all made of a burlap type of material. It has some really great colors, and these greens and purples, oranges that you can see here. And then her face is like embroidered in. Okay, so these are both vintage Caco dolls. I'm going to say that they're probably from the 60s, although that company goes back way earlier. I'm guessing 60s because because their feet, their hands, and their head are all like a molded plastic versus being metal hands, metal feet, which would date them to be much earlier. Now the young girl here, unfortunately, she's missing her dress, and you can see that it was a floral pattern dress because the collar portion is still there, but that's really all that remains. But the little boy is actually in really good condition, and he has an even pretty light scuffing on his little red shoes, so he's in way better shape. But the Caco dolls always have these little wrapped bodies that you can see, and they're always posable. Now this group here of posable dolls, these are also probably 60s, 70s. We've got 3 dads, and then this lady here, poor thing, is also missing her clothes, but she likely is the spouse to the one doll here, and then the others are all missing their wives. Maybe I'll come across them in another box, but they would have been full families of the mom, dad, and one girl usually and a boy. All right, so here's the porcelain baby foot that goes to that poor little doll that obviously had been dropped and broken. And then this is a hand crocheted. I'm thinking it's like a little lizard, like a little gecko. It's really well made. It's got this cute little red ball in its hand, and then it has those little cute eyes that are just saying, pick me up and hold me. We've got a cute little plastic baby doll wearing a little pink outfit. And then I also have this grouping of little baby dolls that I have found. I have this incredibly frightening one here with these giant black eyes. And then this one here, this is actually a baby Caco doll here. It's in really, really good shape. It actually looks brand new. It's shocking to find this with a little pink ribbon. Very cute, great face. And this one here is a 1994 Kenner baby doll here. This was part of their, I think this was the ouchie time, the checkup time baby doll. So it's missing its packaging and all of its accessories, of course, but there's the doll in decent shape. This one, I don't know what this is from. I haven't ever seen it. It almost reminds me of the type of doll that would have maybe come with a Marks collection or Superior, one of those plastic furniture groups, but I am unsure. There's no marking on it at all. And this is the 1981 Fisher-Price dad doll here. And so I don't see any of his other family members, but he's in decent condition. This little guy here, he is probably an antique. He's a bisque porcelain doll with the articulating arms and legs. He looks like a gnome. He has a little cone hat. He has a beard. So he's like an elf or a sprite, and I haven't been able to find any more information on him, but I'm kind of loving him. He may not be on the site today yet because I haven't really found out much about him. And then this is another German bisque doll here that has some color on it, which is super unusual, and it has obviously the blonde color hair and the red shoes. Okay, so I think it at least kind of looks like a frozen Charlotte doll, and this doll is very interesting. It's broken, both the arms, if that's what this is. It has a very grim backstory, which is very interesting. It's based on a real life young girl who froze to death in upstate New York, and the first article that I could find on it is around the 1840s. They began to make stories and poems about her, and then dolls. And so that they are dolls that look just like this, that are made out of one piece of porcelain that do not have any joints. And they are very, very collectible. This does look like one, but again, no arms. Don't know if all of them, but I know that many of them were sold with a coffin that the frozen Charlotte doll would sleep in. This little porcelain figure here just looks like a little girl wearing her blue cap and a little coat. And I think I've come across this little girl before in a different color coat. All right, here are just some small little ceramics here. This is a little yogi in a yogi pose, and a little tiny bear ceramic here. And then here's another one. This is a soldier with a drum, but it has like a little broken arm there, it looks like. Here's a little plush bear with articulating arms and legs. It's funny, it has a wig on, a blonde wig with a blue ribbon, but the face almost looks like it's annoyed that it got dressed up, kind of cute. Then we have a couple more bears here. I've got this one in the red coat. He's given a little bit of a side eye. I feel like I recognize this bear from something, but I can't place it. Maybe you can let me know in the comments if you know what this bear is from. And then this is a pewter cat, little kitten there playing with a pink bead ball, and it's hard to tell if that is the original bead that goes in there with that cat or if it's been replaced. Okay, we have this cute little baby doll here as well, dark skin. It is plastic, cute. It's like holding its little hand out, and it is looks like it has painted eyes. And then this doll here is not a Cupid doll. I thought it was at first, but it isn't. It looks very similar. So I'm not sure about this one and the maker of it. Very cute though, because it's so tiny. Okay, we have a couple more little bears here. This one is a handmade felt bear. You can tell, super cute with a green ribbon. And then we've got a little Christmas bear. These are some broken pieces that were in the bottom. We've got a lady here with a orange, and she's a disaster. She has no arm, no body really. And then this is just the head off of a clown figure, and even his nose is broken. So he definitely has seen better days. Here's another, this is a handmade clay doll, maybe polymer clay. A little girl sitting. She looks like she's kind of looking up and singing maybe. Unfortunately, she does have a missing arm. The arm is in there in the bag, but it is no longer attached. And then this cute little doll here, this little wooden doll, it says Austria on the bottom, and it's just adorable. It actually reminds me of the Dora Kuhn stuff, and it almost looks like it would even go great in that type of a room box with that type of, brightly painted furniture. All right, other than that, we've got a few worry dolls. This is a little pin, it looks like. It has a mom and child, and then it looks like a small religious figure, like a wise man carrying a gift. And then we've got some clown balloons that maybe went to one of the clowns that we saw today, and then just a few other small accessories, a hanger and a wall sconce, a towel, a hat, and a little broom. And then a plastic pair of, well, it's not even a pair, it's just one earring. So that's that. All right, you guys. So that's that for our What's New Wednesday program and all of our new treasures. Of course, if you're new to my show, you can now just jump right on over to my eBay website, and all of the treasures that you saw here today, well, I should say most of them, will be on the eBay site ready for you to purchase. I hope you did find something today that you just can't live without. If you are wondering how to find my eBay website, there are 3 ways that you can locate the site. You can either go to my YouTube homepage and click on the eBay link in the top right-hand corner of the homepage. You could click on the link in the description below this video, or you can go directly to eBay and look up my store, which is Whitney LaBrie Events. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.